stable?
Doesn't matter?
Yeah, it sets. You're right.
Please instruct your patient in an isometric strengthening exercise for their right wrist extension.
Isometric
Maybe
wrist
I'll take one of you
extension.
guys.
Line, buddy.
Rolling around.
What, Caitlin? Right wrist extension. Sit down.
Question on the arm one we just did. Would it be better to have the arm actually on the table for more stabilization?
Yeah, I wouldn't do a hand or a wrist with them sitting up like that.
Sit down. Wait, we gotta.
Because there's no stabilizing, you have to do it all. You get them down here, get that toe
Oh, it is
roll.
right. Go
Try it
back.
on the toe roll, you can have full motion. And
That's
it's
not a redo, you caught it.
You're wasting a lot of tape over here. Come on.
Shut up. I don't have to do that, do I? Nuh-uh. So it doesn't matter where you start, just as long as you, right?
You're doing isometric, it doesn't matter.
Let's start down
Pick
here.
a range, pick an end, any end.
And then I need a chair. I'm sorry. It's like
You
weird
know,
for
that's-
me.
Yeah, guys, I can't stress enough, you need to practice all these so that you can see where you need to be in relationship. That thought processing should not be occurring during lab practice.
So, is this okay? Like, does it matter?
it's good.
Okay, push up against me. 10, 9, 10. Stop. But I should have told him that I want him to be able to come through the motion for me, and that's what we're doing. So anyways,
And if your patient, which they will, they'll be a little smart aleck and they'll try to
Uh-huh.
break you, say, this is submaximal, I only want you to give me half of that contraction.
this is submaximal.
As we spank our patient.
Okay, so 10 times and then remove it. We're gonna move it up 10 degrees, Mr. Kaufman. And then push against me again. Stop! You're so uncooperative.
The patient was uncooperative in therapy today.
Say that.
Anyway,
You're being bad.
10, move 10 degrees, 10, move 10 degrees until he gets to this point right here.
That's right. Good.
Good job, Caitlin.
Good job. Bad
Such a
patient.
difficult patient.
I know.
All right, Miss Dave Kaufman, on this, we've already done those. This is the undone side. Of course, I'm pretty sure there's some duplicate in there.
Okay. Please instruct your patient in manual resistive isotonic eccentric exercises of the right shoulder flexors.
Look at the camera.
Wait, say it again.
Please instruct your patient in a manual resistive isotonic eccentric exercise of the right shoulder flexors.
You're doing L. What? Wait, what? Which one is flexion?
That's a tough
I can't
one.
remember.
This is extension.
Are you doing
Extension's
concentric or
down.
eccentric?
Flexion.
Eccentric.
Eccentric.
Okay.
So you're going up with the shoulder flexion, right?
Okay. I say we just started on a thought process. If we're doing shoulder flexors, right? First, touch on the shoulder where the flexors are. They're on the front, right? And then you know that's the side of the body your resistance is going to be, right? And then your eccentric, do you start short or do
Long.
you start long?
Long.
Short.
Short.
We're doing
Start short, he's
eccentric.
pushing
You start
against me,
short,
pushing
go
against me.
long.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, Here's your teacher telling you.
I thought concentric you started short and you ended long.
Concentric
That's-
is
start concentric, start long,
long
go
to
short.
short.
Yeah.
Oh my
concentric,
gosh.
long to short.
Okay, so,
Short and go long.
because you don't want to, what, shove it up against you.
This is my first I want you to what you're going to do. Come through this motion.
You're trying to make it go fast.
Resist my pressure.
Do you have to start that high, Miss Cindy?
So we might be doing this all day.
Well,
Or could you
here's
just
the-
start here?
Well, if we're supposed to do manual resistive through the full range of motion,
Then you will.
I need to start him up here. Now, when you tell, and it's, we all know what we're doing. And so from a cueing point of view, if you really just use those instructions from a patient and said, we're gonna come down here and resist me, well, they're just gonna do this. You want them to come down here, they're gonna come down here. So you may have a cue of, I'm gonna try and make you go fast, don't let me. So they get that it needs to be a slow, controlled motion, all right?
I'll try to make you go fast to this motion.
And I know you said it depends on the joint, but if we're doing shoulder and we push out here for the practical, is that gonna be okay?
Yeah, I'm not gonna count off points for that. I think next year you'll use short lever, next semester short levers more than long, but it'll
Also,
depend
that
on the
was another
muscles.
option, to do a short lever.
And you could do a short lever, you're right, I mean, on him.
That's why I got you.
That'd be impossible for me
Yeah,
to do, really.
it would be really. Once again, it depends on the size of the muscle.
So if we have to hang on the arm, go out to the ribs.
Question about his position.
I was about to ask, would it be
He
better
might-
to have him laying on his back instead?
Or sitting.
Well, shoulders are awkward. First of all, I mean that, if you're doing a full motion like that for you to provide resistance, him sitting up like that's the easiest for you. But he's not that stable up here. He was actually smart, smart enough that he's got enough trunk control. You may want to have him sit in a chair with a back or lay on the bed. Now, the only difference is when you lay on the bed is at some point in time, your resistance, you're crossing arms, and that's going to become really awkward. And I would be concerned about the sitting on the edge more for shoulder flexion than for shoulder extension. Because shoulder extension, if you're holding his shoulder, he's not going to lean forward, which is what you did. Hop up there and let me show you. You'll notice you had one hand on his shoulder and then the other. He was stabilizing him enough, can you see that now? That he wasn't going to let him go. So, I mean, it's acceptable. I wouldn't have taken points off of that because he was stabilizing them. But if somebody that was really weak and you couldn't stabilize, you have to lay him down.
So if he's doing concentric,
We'll start down here.
And
And you could very easily.
And you
push
easily
back.
substitute them. You have to really stabilize that, get them in a chair if you still want that motion. But we push squat. Now, for me, that's really convenient because I don't have to squat much. I'm usually about height with somebody's shoulders when they're sitting in a chair. But for you tall people, it's a different beast.
You're gonna push here and have them.
Oh, okay, good. Good questions.
What's the purpose?
I don't remember.
Ashley, or I'm sorry. I guess Jason's gonna do it.
Nah. What'd you get?
Dave's got a little catheter.
Please instruct your patient in a manual resistive isotonic eccentric exercise of the right knee flexor.
now could you have them lay on their tongue? And
Get more range of motion.
Yeah,
on
because
their
that's what I
stomach.
was thinking, because they can actually go further to their butt as far as range of motion versus this. Either or.
Scoot him out on the edge. Like, yeah, either way.
I'll just keep you here since you're here. Okay. This is your right leg, isn't it?
Now, if that doesn't put him at 90, would you add anything else in there?
Yeah, I could add another cowbell or another pillow or a spare body part.
You're going to, we're gonna go through motion here to extend your leg.
Yeah, what motion did you demonstrate to him?
The same way, so don't give them a hard time.
You're gonna gonna actually be flexing your legs.
Okay.
You're strengthening your legs.
Not pushing out. I'm gonna try, I'm gonna attempt to pull you out fast. Okay, I want you to stop that from happening. I put pressure against you. I want you to keep it
Then
there.
that pulling on hamstring.
This is the flexible flexion. So whenever you pull, if you, I try to pull against you, you just try to stop me. You're gonna slowly move out.
So you're gonna try to bring it up fast, and he's gonna not let you bring it up fast.
His
Well,
hand
this
is gonna be on the
one's
back of the ankle, pulling it up.
So that's actually right.
So he's gonna resist you bringing it up.
And he's gonna start,
You say, I'm gonna try to
it's
bring it up fast.
eccentric
I'm gonna-
knee
Right,
flexors.
because he's gonna keep it down, and then I'm gonna bring it.
Eccentric knee flexors?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, start short, go long.
So we, so I'm not gonna pull against you, you stop me. Or let it slow fluid.
Yeah, feel that in your hamstring. Good.
And
I guess
he
if the one-
corrected himself and started stabilizing that first rep, he was,
If you're laying down,
we'll do it laying down so you can feel it. That's the whole point of this, is to try the different positions and see which is best.
I see it, I mean, to me,
You gotta stabilize on the
same
butt
thing.
cheek.
Yeah.
And that's where you want to stabilize, up on his hip, down after the butt cheek.
It's that parallel that you
Toss
want.
it.
Yeah, so
Ethic
now
violation.
looking where your hand is in relationship, are you gonna be able to do that, or do you need to move your hand this way?
Put it on the outside.
There you go.
And just be on.
This feels remarkable to me.
It feels awkward starting.
So I'm gonna attempt to push you this way. Okay. Yeah, you're going. I'm gonna push out.
It's
You
more
stop me.
difficult for the patient.
And then, yeah, you have to provide them the resistance, because
I was, it was,
He was,
yeah. I mean, as soon as it felt like he wasn't putting anything in.
just because I'm another little position person here. When you start resisting knee exercises on the mat, that patella goes versus coming. Once you grab us a skinnier pillow, I mean a skinnier towel. What's it called, a towel? Is there a little thinner one? That I can put that underneath the thigh, so that his patella isn't digging, I've got a skinnier. So it's not just digging into the mat, because sometimes that's uncomfortable for a patient.
I can't hold it very long.
to the view.
Plank.
There you go.
No, you don't need to
And
plank
then
in
let
that
him relax,
position.
just so, because those hamstrings will cramp up.
So this is planks in.
Is that the new game?
And the new game is plank. Let's show us again.
Kel's definition of planking is different from mine.
Several times.
All right.
Yeah, what's over you?
Great.
Please instruct your patient in a manual resistive isotonic concentric exercise of the left hip abductors. So left hip abductors. Go out. Okay, need you on your right side. Patient.
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 Nameless patient.
I'm gonna get on this side, that's for the camera. Manual.
It hurts your hip.
I think we need new pads on.
Abductor.
Did you get concentric or eccentric?
I got concentric.
Okay.
So I could do. I'm trying to think which way this would go. She's wanting to build this muscle going out. So she would pull up while I push down. So you're gonna try to raise your whole leg as high as you can. Your entire lower extremity.
No, just you.
Can I support the knee here or just or hip? Hip.
Stabilizer.
Okay. So work on